I've got the cycling on the telly. Subframe time. I have started, so I'm going to show you some bits that I've done first, and then we'll jump into where we're at.
It's not a game, it's a red shit.
About going for a redesign, just put the engine in it, and that sits nicely there. I'm quite happy with how that bit's come out, but then I think it sits too far over this way, because now I've cut out down here, the diff casing is touching just there, so it needs to go the other way a bit. But because of the way I've mounted it, I can move it up this way, but then looking at that, I've realised because of this upright, I'm not going to get an alternator belt through there. So my alternator would have to go down here somewhere, which is not very good. So I'm thinking picking up off that, and there's another triangle piece on the gearbox there. Got some mounts down here, some of them Land Rover mounts, and then put one on the back. One bit chopped off. Which would be dead easy really if I put a piece across there. That mount can sit there, and then I can build something off that triangle piece to go on the top of it, and then the same in that corner for the gearbox end. That way I can move the engine over that way a bit and clear my diff casing, and then there's a piece on the back where I can pick up off, I can either pick up off there and up there and put one of those somewhere here, or I could come off those bolt holes on the back of the gearbox, perhaps put something further down, don't know. Good afternoon everybody. Been working on my engine and my subframe today. I chopped off a piece that ran from there to there, and I've decided I'm going to mount off there and over there like Mr. Hart subframe. I'm going to cut that end off as well, because they just get in the way. But I've got myself an F15 gearbox, which is nice because it's much smaller. It's got a speedo takeoff, and I've got myself an X16 or X14 XE inlet manifold, so I just need to make a plan and fit my throttle body on, and that's better. The only thing I will have left to work out that was going to be a headache is dry shafts and exhaust manifold, but we're getting there slowly. We're making up pieces templates, the old CAD for me mounts to go there. That's going to be a infill piece there, that on there, and then come down with a engine mount rubber in between the two there. Beautiful. And then stabilise it on the back. If I go through that bell housing mount there, I can use this mount, and then I can just make something up that perhaps bolts on there and down there to go onto that there, and then I can just go there and I can replace that with a factory part because it's goosed. But up through there, some pieces up here, jobs are good, isn't it? Woo! Engine mounted. That mount is a bit rubbish. I'm going to get a new one of those. That's one of the original Zafira mounts that I've bolted through that bell housing. Then that one bolts to that bar, which all needs welding up, but then goes down and bolts to the back of the gearbox. So I'm going to chop it off down there and then weld up all of these where I've been cutting it and bending it. But engine's in. First sigh of relief that the subframe actually bolts into the car. Next thing, I'm going to try the front end on, so if that still fits over that sticky out bit. And after that, I'm going to try and fit the engine. Now then, I'm about 10 mil or so too far forward. So, do I modify the fiberglass front to account for that, which means I'll be able to mount it up here and have a better bonnet shut line? Or do I rework that front piece of the subframe? I've decided that I'm going to keep it like that and modify that end, because with this way my mounts fit. If I bring that in, I'll have to shorten that and probably mess it up. And it's only a little bit, and at least this way I can get this wing higher, because my bonnet always sat proud, so the bonnet can sit down, and I might be able to actually get the opportunity to rework the front end to fit better. So I've took the bonnet on, and if I modify this front to like that, I can close up that gap and actually have my wing the same height as my bonnet. And the same that side, I need to cut a little bit out there. That won't go over properly because it's fouling on the engine timing cover, but boom, happy days. And then we can have a little peep in there. What's going on in there? There's an engine in there. But yeah, that's good. I've just got one engine mount to modify the fiberglass a little bit. Happy days. I think that is it for this video. I got quite stuck in as usual and didn't record a great deal, so a lot of the clips you've seen there are bits of video I've sent to my friends in WhatsApp groups and whatnot, so they are but as you can see behind me, the engine sat in the subframe. I did modify this mount slightly to lower this end of the engine down, but the engine's mounted nice and solid there. I've got this original part of the Zafira mount sat there, bolted through onto there, that crossbar. I've used a couple of these Land Rover mounts picked up off there, like I said I was going to. And yeah, it seems mounted pretty solid. So The next job I've got to do is there's part of the lower arm mounting I had to cut off for clearance for the new drive shafts to go through, so I've got to make up something there and weld that on. That's going to be the next job. So next job, which I'm not going to film, is taking the engine back out and trying to sort some of the mess out in here because there's stuff everywhere. So I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up, get the engine out, and I've got a week off work now, so hopefully I can get the suspension mount sorted, get the car back on its wheels, and I can start working out my inlet manifold and other bits and pieces, cooling system, exhaust manifold, and at some point I need to get measuring up for drive shafts and order some of them. So got quite a lot done since the last video, and hopefully I'll get quite a lot done before the next one.